Okay, let's talk about the biggest lie in dating. You know those surveys where women say they want kind, funny, emotionally available guys? Well, honey, I've got some news for you. A massive 45-nation study found that what we say we want and who we actually choose, the correlation is basically zero. I'm about to expose the 8 covert traits that actually make us lose our minds, the ones we'd never admit to wanting but can't resist. And if you're doing these naturally, you're probably getting female attention and have no clue why. Let's start with number 8, effortless dominance. And before you roll your eyes, this isn't what you think. When you walk into a room and stand with your chest open, gesture with your palms facing down instead of up, give directions without filling every pause with or like, we notice. You take up space like you belong there, and it makes our feminine energy respond whether we want it to or not. Here's what we're really thinking. This guy has quiet authority and I feel safe letting him lead. We can't say we find dominance attractive because it sounds toxic in public conversation, but our biology doesn't care about political correctness. The research backs this up hard. Postural expansiveness nearly doubles your odds of getting a yes in speed dating, completely independent of how you look. Translation: stop shrinking yourself. Stand tall, speak with authority, and quit apologizing for existing. Number 7 is dark edge confidence, and this one's gonna make some people squirm. You make eye contact that doesn't waver. You're completely unbothered about your accomplishments. You tease us without asking permission first. There's this slightly dangerous energy about you that makes our good girl programming short circuit. What we're actually thinking, this guy could probably break my heart, and I'm weirdly okay with that risk. We're not supposed to admit we find narcissistic confidence incredibly hot, but research shows women high in curiosity show marked behavioral attraction to dark triad men for short-term encounters. Here's the thing. We live in a world where everyone's walking on eggshells, being overly polite, constantly seeking approval. When you show up with unshakable confidence and a little edge, you stand out like a neon sign. Your move? Stop being so nice all the time. I'm not saying be an asshole, but make statements instead of asking questions. Own your success and quit downplaying your achievements. Number 6 is calculated risk-taking, and this is where you separate yourself from every boring guy she's ever dated. You're the one who suggests the hole-in-the-wall taco place everyone's talking about. You ride a motorcycle on weekends. You invest in your own business project. You make life feel like an adventure instead of a safety manual. What she's really responding to? Culture tells us to value security and stability. But novelty wins every single time when it comes to dopamine and raw attraction. We're biologically wired to find risk takers more appealing because it signals genetic fitness and confidence. The research across 42 countries shows women in good health consistently rank male risk takers as more attractive for romantic encounters. The effect only disappears when there are actual health threats involved. Translation: stop playing life so safe. Take interesting risks. Suggest spontaneous weekend trips. Be the guy who makes ordinary Tuesday nights feel exciting. Most men are terrified of uncertainty, so calculated risks make you absolutely magnetic. Number 5 is all about your voice. Specifically, that low-frequency command that makes us literally weak in the knees. When you speak in that calm baritone that never rises at the end of sentences, never sounds like you're asking a question when you're making a statement, that's pure masculine authority flowing through your vocal cords. Here's what we won't admit. We say voice doesn't matter to avoid sounding shallow on dating apps, but deep voices make us feel things we can't explain. A massive study with over 3,100 participants found that lower male pitch boosts both attractiveness and perceived prestige across every culture tested. What we're really hearing: this man is secure in his masculinity, he doesn't need my approval, and he's comfortable taking charge. It's primal attraction at its finest. Your takeaway? Eliminate uptalk. Stop ending statements like questions. Cut out filler words like and like. Speak from your chest, not your throat, and watch how differently women respond to you. Number 4, threatening symmetry. And yes, I chose that word very deliberately. You've got those wider cheekbones, that square jaw, the kind of traditionally masculine features that will look confident, even in your worst passport photo. It's facial structure that suggests you could handle yourself if things got physical, even if you're the gentlest soul in the world. Here's what we'll never say publicly. We find slightly aggressive-looking faces incredibly attractive because they signal genetic fitness and the ability to protect. It's completely politically incorrect, but our biology doesn't care about social norms. The research is wild. Women pick men with high facial width to height ratios for second dates twice as often. But here's the kicker. Only for short-term encounters. For long-term relationships, the effect disappears because we start thinking with our logical brains. If you got these features naturally, own them completely. If you don't, confidence and the way you carry yourself can create the same magnetic effect. Quick pause. I know some of you are thinking, how do I actually tell if she's responding to this? That's why I made the 25 forbidden signals she's secretly into you cheat sheet. Ultra subtle stuff like the split-second lip flash, the hair twirl that isn't just fidgeting, the exit door hover that screams, "Follow me." Links in the description. Grab it, scan it on your phone, and never wonder, did she actually like me again? All right, let's get to the top 3. Number 3 is tall and tapered. And I'm just gonna say what everyone's thinking but nobody wants to admit. You cast that 6-foot shadow. Your shoulders are noticeably wider than your hips. You can reach the top shelf without needing a step stool. It's basic sexual dimorphism, and it makes us feel deliciously feminine standing next to you. Translation: height preferences aren't shallow. They're hardwired biology. Real-world data from Tinder and Bumble shows women's interest drops 25% when a man is 5 inches below their stated minimum height. We can talk about equality all we want, but when it comes to attraction, physics absolutely matter. Here's the truth. We feel safer and more feminine with taller men. It's not about being shallow. It's about how our bodies respond to sexual dimorphism. The wider shoulders and narrow hips create that classic masculine silhouette that triggers attraction responses we can't control. What you can control, regardless of your actual height, posture, presence, and taking up space like you own the room. The way you carry yourself can make you seem more commanding than guys who are actually taller, but slouch. Number 2 is generous resource flow. And no, this has nothing to do with being a sugar daddy or flashing money around. You're the guy who tips the barista generously, backs your friend's Kickstarter without being asked, brings coffee for your team just because you thought of them. You share your resources freely because you operate from abundance, not scarcity. What we're really seeing? A man who's generous with his time, money, and attention signals that he's got his life together and genuinely cares about others. We can't admit we find men who spend money attractive without clashing with our whole "I'm independent" narrative. But the research confirms what we instinctively know. Recent studies conclude that altruism functions as an honest display of fitness and reliably increases male desirability across cultures. When you're generous, you're basically saying, I have enough resources to share, and I'm confident more will come. Your move? Be authentically generous, not to impress, but because you genuinely want to contribute to others' lives. It's one of the most magnetic qualities a man can have. And number 1, the social proof halo, also known as the cheerleader effect. And this one's absolutely crucial. You're the guy in group photos where everyone's genuinely laughing at your jokes. Party invitations roll in because people actually want you there. You've got that social magnetism where others naturally orbit around your energy. What we're really responding to? We prefer popular men, but frame it as wanting someone with good social connections because admitting we care about popularity feels teenage. But here's the scientific truth. New research shows faces are judged 3 to 5% more attractive when seen in a group for just 700 milliseconds. It's not about being the loudest guy in the room or chasing attention. It's about being genuinely likable, the kind of person others enjoy being around. When we see other people value your company, it makes us want to understand what they see in you. Translation: social proof is real, and it's powerful. Be the guy who adds value to every room he enters, who makes others feel good about themselves, who creates positive energy wherever he goes, because we absolutely notice who else thinks you're worth their time. So there you have it, the 8 covert traits that actually drive female attraction. The truth is, what we say we want and what our biology responds to, 2 completely different things. Now you know exactly what authentic masculinity looks like.